Hi, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
Princesses on parade.
Annual passes add perks.
Card games.
Hey there, hi there, hello there Disney fans, and welcome back to another Disneyland Paris show, and welcome back Hugh, and welcome back me.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back. It's so nice to have people here and not
Thank
be
you
on my own again.
so much for holding the fort for us last week, Chris.
It was fun.
We have been in the motherland. We've visited Mecca. We have been to Disneyland Paris this week, and we have got full trip reports and chats to tell you about when we get into it. But first, we've got other things to do. We've got people in the chat. Who's in the chat?
Who are they?
All aboard, please.
Can I just do a disclaimer on the old sound thing?
Yeah.
You know, guys, that we've had a bit of a funny thing going on with one of our microphones recently. I've decided to retire that microphone 2 minutes ago, so it's been a bit of a flustery event. So we've got two microphones working. They're just a little bit further away from us than usual. We should still be picking up the same way, though it looks like we are. It just might have a little bit more room ambience going on than usual. All right, there you go. That's it. Go on, carry on.
Can you hear us? And do we sound like we're in a cave? Right. So, and also because there was a bit of like to and fro with the stream, I think we've missed the original first commenters.
Oh.
They've disappeared. They've dropped off the chat. So we're gonna have to go with what we've got here,
No.
which is. What?
Hang on, look, they're up there.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There's the Dunn family. Hello, everyone. Hope you all have an amazing Sunday. Aaron is back. Haven't seen Aaron for a couple of weeks. Hi, Aaron. I can't believe you guys were first again. I can believe they were first again in the chat. Let's start with this one. Hey, everyone. Can't wait for the show tonight. We'll be the perfect pick-me-up after the football. Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Alid, hello from Alid and Fiona. 14 days until Disney California.
Oh, that's right.
Lord have legit mercy. We're getting excited
I'll
now.
bet you are. Crikey.
Moritz is here and says, hey everyone, so excited to be back in DLP on Wednesday.
Oh, that's so soon.
Kerry is here. Hi all, wish I was back there now. If that's the same Kerry that we saw, then yes, so do we.
We
but,
made friends.
Kerry was Disneyed out. But it was
Wow.
nice.
Is that a thing? Because you said, I saw you put that on Twitter that you were Disneyed out as well now. I didn't know.
Yeah, it just means you're knackered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So yeah, it was good to bump into Kerry in the village, and 80 more sleeps until Florida for the Dunn family. John Parker, hi everyone. Hi to Andrew and Katie and Gemma.
We also saw Gemma.
Hey everyone, looking forward to the show tonight as a pick-me-up from the Disney Blues. Yeah, we booked into Gemma and her family outside Small World.
It's a small world, isn't it?
We
After
too
all.
are bluesing Gemma.
Yeah, and
And she showed us some beautiful ears that her daughter had made.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, nice.
really, really high quality.
Lily.
They had the little pom-poms all the way around. They
Oh.
were gorgeous.
hello to Lily. Yeah, Lily had some ears that she'd made, and they were a touch of class.
They were very clever.
touch of class. They were.
I want some.
Yeah. Sugar Sweet Samantha, aka Sugar Sweet Mama, is in the chat, as is Fiona, who says, I never make a live, so I didn't realise how early this chatting starts. Dunn family,
yeah.
you are a dedicated bunch for sure. I didn't miss anyone above there, did I?
No, that's everyone. You've done everyone so far.
Gareth.
Hi to Gareth. 36 days till Florida for Gareth. And David, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, David. David's won a go on, tell me what it is. A cruise. He won a cruise.
That's right, yeah. And,
Has it?
Yeah.
we passed David's planet in the Buzz Lightyear queue.
Oh, that's David. Yes.
Yeah, there's a
We tried to recreate one of his photos.
there's a dedication to a David Wilson in the planet namings and this system chat, and his namesake David Wilson was there and took a picture, and then we took a picture the next day in the same spot. Hello to Katia and Emma and Cheryl and Jimmy. Did I do Jimmy?
I'm not sure.
Hello, Jimmy. Purple 37 and Nathan Smith and Kira and Helen and Lee. Hello to you all.
Do you know how I knew about David's cruise win? We've got a new 37 Disney Street Facebook group set up by Cheryl.
Yeah, I was going to mention this.
And
it's brilliant.
Yeah, and you've all been on there sharing all sorts of information. The link is in the description, so if you're not already a part of that group, come and make yourself a part of it.
It's very lively. I struggle to keep up with it.
It's very lovely as well, because people are like, they're saying, hello, I listen every week, here's a little bit about me. And we're really getting to know people. We're getting like mini biographies of people who listen to us, and that's just gorgeous.
We're getting to know people like Ed and Mark Chester and Dan Thomas, who are also in the chat.
Hey.
And Pauline and Maria.
But there's also a bit of like hints and tips and advice going on in that group as well. So
and it's also a really good place. So what I'm going to start doing is on a Friday, I'll post a quick, the show's coming up post, so that if you've got anything you want to say, then or add or ask or blah blah blah, you can put it in that thread, and we'll go through that at some point. I don't have a jingle for it. I don't know where it's going to fit in the show, but I have some stuff that we can go through. People are sharing their trip reports on there, but we won't read those trip reports out. That's for you to go and share your pictures and that kind of thing. But if you want a trip report read out, and we still want them, just email them through to us at mailbox37disneystreet.co.uk.
Dan's there right now, relaxing in Davy Crockett.
Nice.
Davy Crockett Ranch Cabins, I presume, not in Davy Crockett. That would be weird.
That would be weird. What happens now then?
I saw. Oh, there it is. 11 days for Nathan till in
Nathan,
DLP.
awesome.
I saw someone else as well. I think they said exactly 4 weeks, but this chat keeps scrolling up. I'm so sorry if we're missing you, but it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Do you know what else is exciting?
What's that?
In 8 days' time, maybe 9 days, I can't remember, 8 or 9 days' time, Disneyland Paris is going to release all that. This is one of the news things. I'm sorry if it is. Is it news? Is it not? Okay. They're going to release all the dates for March next year onward to March 2025. So those of us like me who want to go next year, suddenly you'll be able to actually book it, which is quite exciting.
Yay!
Yeah, if Laura will let me.
I'm still just like... I'm still in a mood, in a sulk about the annual pass situation, because now we're back to looking at packages, which means it's going to be once a year. You know what I mean? We're not doing the should we pop over at Christmas? We can't do that anymore, and it's just...
How much of a difference does it make to you financially overall?
What do you mean?
Have you costed it up?
Well, it's not like we planned on going this many times. Like I know Darren Dunn priced it up, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he knew that he wanted to go this week at Christmas and that week then and that week then, and they knew they wanted to do it, so they worked it out. We wanted the flexibility to do that. So we were going to go in August, upgrade to annual passes, and then we would have annual passes if we needed them. And once you've got them, you use them. Mm-hmm. Whereas we can't get... My job is very up in the air at the moment. And we don't have the ability to say, well, we're definitely going to go these dates.
Yeah. So unless you're going to get your money back from one trip, it's not...
No.
It's kind of not worth it.
So we're going to have to probably wait till the next time we want to go, and then we might consider whether it's worth the upgrade kind of thing. But it really has... It's changed... I'm really sad to say it's changed DLP for us a bit. It's also changed this show a bit. Because last year when we had annual passes, we're like, well, we'll be back in a couple of months. We'll check that out for you. Mm-hmm. And now we're just like everybody with the, waiting for the school holidays.
Well, that's why. Like last time we tried to do a trip report and we had to cut it off, and I don't think we ever finished it. So we're going to stretch it out. We're going to do... Well, the plan was to do 1 day per show. So we were there for 4 days. Just kind of spread it out a bit. And then, go into a bit more depth. Like for example, Lee is asking, did we see Together, the new Pixar show? Yes, we did. Now, was that today on the first day, or it was the second day, wasn't it?
Second day.
So that we'll probably talk about that next week.
Oh.
Unless we rattle through it in 5 minutes, and then we'll probably do a couple of days today.
See how we go.
We'll see how it goes. We don't know. I'm gasping.
It's got unseasonably hot in our kitchen, hasn't it?
It has.
I think it's since the human radiator here arrived. No, it's been hot.
It's showtime. Hold together in your tiki 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 cup, in your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, I'll drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
Well, I hope you're all enjoying something in your tiki cup. I'm having the Vive Tropical Blast, which is basically Lilt from
Do you
our
like a tropical blast?
That smells really unpleasant. One of these smells really unpleasant.
They both taste fantastic. I'm having Pepsi Max Mango.
I'm having cherries and berries cordial because I do every week.
We're relatively tropical today. Yeah, so should we do some news?
Aaron is saying, "Is that Sam Eagle?" in capitals, and yes, Sam. Not Sam. Yes, Aaron, it is.
Aaron, you must have missed the show when Sam Eagle first appeared, because I got one for Chris too.
You did.
It's from the American Pavilion in
American Pavilion.
It is the American way.
in Epcot.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed.
And it didn't come with anything fun inside. It just came with just a soda fountain drink. So I had it with root beer.
Nice.
You could get 2 in there though. It's quite big. I got 2 in there.
It's just a funny shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like internally, it feels like.
They always are. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Impossible to clean. So you don't. Yeah. So we do some news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bong. Right, so this week, currently, right now, this minute, it is Princess Week in Disneyland Paris and indeed parks worldwide. So here are some special things that they are doing for Princess Week. Princess Week runs from the 20th, yesterday, till the 26th, which
20th
is...
today.
Oh, it runs from today till next Saturday, the 26th, which is Bonnie's 9th birthday.
Aww.
And it includes a princess show on the castle stage that has got Tiana, Merida, Moana, and Milan.
Oh, I saw some pictures of that today on
according to my
X.
autocorrect. Oh, on yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
On that thing.
Yeah, that thing that we all want to leave because it's not very good anymore, and we all want to protest Elon Musk. I'm calling him Elon, I don't care. And what he's doing to that once fine social media channel, but none of us can because we're all addicted to it and we have to keep going and using it.
Yeah. That one. So it was. I wish I'd written down the proper name. It's something like The Magic of Adventure.
Ooh, princesses.
It's all about the adventurous princesses being like really sort of kick bottom princesses and stuff, like with swords and things. It looks good. There's dancers. There's the castle dancers doing triplets coming down the centre of the stage.
Nice.
There is increased numbers of princesses meeting around the park. I don't know why that sounded a little formidable. Increased chance of princesses.
There was a private princess meet and greet yesterday, wasn't there? So I saw some pictures of that. I can't remember who it was. They were doing it for exclusive private one for people somewhere. There was a bit of a buzz around. Yeah,
I
a bit of a buzz.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
No, I've seen all of them this week. There's been princesses galore, princesses everywhere, not just in the Princess Pavilion. They usually limit them to the Princess Pavilion because the Princess Pavilion is a huge attraction in itself. So if they were to put princesses anywhere else, it would lessen them.
A plethora of proliferating princesses.
Have you seen that video of the little girl dressed as Flounder going and meeting her?
Oh, that
It's so
is
cute.
beautiful.
Just super cute.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I melted.
beautiful.
Absolutely melted.
Yeah.
Um,
Little tail wiggling around.
Yeah.
But there's
Ariel.
princesses all over the parks for meet and greets this time.
Aw.
There is also magic shots of, I think it was Ariel in Frontierland. Not sure why. Ariel's in
Yeehaw.
Frontierland. But this just, I want to bring up something here that somebody asked us before we went. Hugh's going to tell me who it is. Wanted us to keep an eye out for PhotoPass photographers.
Yes, I will find that screenshot. Are we still on this same bit of news?
I just want to, while I'm doing the photo shot, magic shots, I'm just going to diverge a little into that. Because someone wanted us to look into what PhotoPass photographers there were in and around the park. We know for PhotoPasses you can get...
I'll read it out.
Okay.
This is from Chris, who says, "Hi, just thought I'd send you an email as you're leaving for Disneyland Paris very soon. Could you check out and report back on your show if you see many PhotoPass photographers on your trip? We went last year and paid for the PhotoPass, but only saw 3 photographers. One on Main Street, one with Winnie the Pooh, and one with Goofy. We saw other characters with minders, but no photographers. No photographers dotted around the parks like in Walt Disney World, Florida. On our return, I wrote to them telling them they were selling a product that wasn't available and got a refund of 50%. It's not bad.
Oh.
But they were adamant there wasn't a problem. So do they just not have photographers like in Walt Disney World? We're going again in November. and I'm not sure if it's worth buying again. So that's why I'm asking if you see any. Have a great holiday, Lucy, Hugh and Bonnie. Thank you, we did, Chris.
No, they don't have them like they do in Florida. In Florida, they have them everywhere. They have them in front of every single attraction, in front of every sign, at random places, on bridges.
There's like 3 in a row going up Main Street, but far enough away that like you can't see the next one in your photographs because they're kind of
they're just there to capture pictures for anybody when they want to.
Any family pictures at any time. Every single
Mm-hmm.
character would have a photopass photographer, etc., etc., etc. Now,
none of that.
I would say the characters, only less than 50% will have photographers with them.
Really?
At Disneyland Paris, and I can't really work out which ones. The ones that are in permanent locations, the Princess Pavilion, Darth Vader, and the superhero thing, we'll talk about the superhero thing later, definitely have photo pass.
Stitch does.
Stitch did when you were there, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, when I was there, but it's massively popular and lots of people.
Yeah.
You see a lot of professional pictures of the Stitch meet and greets. I'm sure they'd have them there pretty much permanently.
Okay. But I mean, some will and some won't. I mean, that's the fact of it.
The hotel meet and greets do as well, don't they? They are
usually,
everyone
but not guaranteed. Usually, when we were there, I did keep my eye out for you, because we were looking for it, and I saw 2 that were doing magic shots at specific places, but they were doing them at odd places, like outside the Mercantile in Frontierland, and up near Cowboy Cookout in Frontierland, and that is just a magic spot where you have like maybe Tinkerbell on your hand, or you have Bambi there that you can snuggle. So the work there in front of the castle. Having said that, in previous years I have seen one outside the castle, because I had some photos taken last August outside the castle, but it is very, very sporadic. We had 2 character meet and greets that didn't have photographers with them this time. It's very unpredictable and sporadic, and I would get it on the understanding that you're using it for rides and attractions and permanent meet and greets, and anything else you can get is a bonus. So you need to decide if it's worth it for that reason. Again, in high season they might have more, but to be fair, we were there in pretty much high season.
The thing about ride photos is you might look at them once and go, oh, look at that, but you're not going to stick it on your wall or...
No.
It was your mum's profile picture.
I think it still is. Yeah. No, you're right. I think it still is. But
Sugar Sweet Samantha wants you to show off your Spirit jersey for the viewers, Lucy.
Sorry. I was going to do a whole sort of section.
Oh, save it then.
on.
Save it.
Okay,
Save it.
I'll save
well,
you saw nothing.
Dan also says, here now, can anyone tell us where the drinks fountains are?
I think somebody actually answered that. I think it's been ironic because we've joked about that in the past.
Yeah, he's been silly.
Magical by Sarah says, we noticed the only time characters other than princesses and Mickey.
They don't have them except for when you visit during a season.
Our experience during our 6 trips
right,
last
okay.
year. Aaron agrees that Stitch did have a photo pass photographer when he was there. Jafar, Phantom Man of Pluto, Captain Hook, and pretty much every other character I met did not.
Jafar gave me a funny look. I was off in Adventureland trying to record some audio for a competition. Stay tuned. And Jafar walked by, and he just gave me he glared at me. But I was cool.
Aaron has a good tip, and this is what we did this time. You can always get a temporary photo pass card. That means the first time that you have you're somewhere where there is a photo pass photographer, they'll just give you a little cardboard one. They'll go, all your photos on there. But you can then load all your photos onto that. And then if you decide there's enough of them that you want, then you can turn that into a proper photo pass.
And you're not saving a huge amount by buying it in advance anyway, are you?
No.
Like before your holidays.
Well,
no, we were 2 families, and we decided to both use this same cardboard one, and then decide at the end, and then we would have split it. And in the end, we decided it wasn't worth it, unfortunately, because we did have some good superhero ones.
Yeah, but it would have been £35 per family.
Euros.
Which actually not that bad in the end if you can split it. I just want to do some extra news.
Okay.
Extra news.
That's our friend Mercedes from Chat Disney and husband Grumpy have had the baby.
Oh, the baby.
The baby is here. So congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Exciting.
That is, baby.
Happy for you.
Yay.
Yay, babies.
That's what Chris says. Yay, babies. Yeah, that's very exciting. Do we have names, Waits?
Well,
Has he filled his first nappy yet?
I discovered this on the bus home last night, very drunk. So I'd almost forgotten about it, and I got a reminder. So I was clever enough last night to set a reminder. So as the show started, I got a reminder about it. The same thing happened when my friend asked me to be an usher at his wedding. I was drunk on the sofa. I'm not drunk all the time, but
most of the time.
and I kind of
Some of the time.
and I just sort of drunkenly wrote back, yeah, it would be a pleasure, and then put the phone on and completely forgot about it. And the next time he brought it up, I just stared at him blankly, and he said, "Do you not remember me asking you?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, of course I do." Nah, I'd forgotten I was drunk.
Lee is going adding on to the photo pass conversation. Newport Bay doesn't normally have a photo pass photographer. Meet Mickey Mouse normally does. Pooh and Stitch, Olaf and the Toy Story characters normally have one in the studios. That the Toy Story characters are at that Pixar Place thing, aren't they? So and Olaf is in the Art of Animation.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the ones that I would consider having permanent positions.
A residency.
A residency. So that's probably your best shot.
Pooh and Stitch is what happens when you don't have enough fibre.
Dunn family is saying yay babies also, but we've had the youngest member of the Dunn family watching our show this week, haven't we?
Yeah.
Or at least watching Chris.
Yeah.
On my own, for moral support.
Emma says she loves getting ride photos, but so we do like getting photo pass for that, but agree it's not as good as Florida and California. Absolutely. So the reason I got away with that was that they were having magic shots in Frontierland for princesses, and it got me onto it. So those were the only two exceptions. So these two random magic shot places.
Well, the magic shot that we saw when we went last year was outside Plaza Gardens in amongst the trees there, so it wasn't anything to really see. It was just.
It's
I mean,
not
it's a
in front
nice
of the
place for a
castle
shot,
or
but
anything.
I mean, it was in front of the castle, but you couldn't see the castle. For the
Yeah,
trees.
yeah.
You couldn't see the wood for the trees.
Bizarre. They've also got we're back on Princess Week now, by the way.
Princess Week.
They've got pastries and shakes at Victoria's. We talked about those last week. They've got spirit jerseys, which are their, like, what it says on the back is the name of the princess, Moana, and it's kind of got these cool designs on cream in different colours. And Snow White was saying hello in the morning above the station where Mickey sometimes does. So that's everything I've got on princesses. I'm sure there will be even more. That's just a few things.
Have they got some cards to collect?
Oh, they do. Why haven't I put that? Collect 13 different collectible cards.
That was nailed on, wasn't it?
You know, one of my things was I wanted to get a collector's card.
I told you. What did I?
Got one.
Did you? Oh, good.
I got Black
I knew
Panther.
they'd start one as soon as you came back.
No, we've got Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, well, technically Bonnie got Spider-Man.
We can show
Spider-Man.
them. We can show them on the camera.
I've started calling him Spider-Man now.
Oh yeah, hang on. Close up.
So, listeners, I'm showing the Black Panther, Shuri, and Spider-Man cards that we got in Avengers Campus. They're quite cool, aren't they?
Yeah, they are pretty cool.
Quite big, actually.
They are big, yeah.
If you look at they're bigger than a credit card.
And what's on the inside?
Just some facts, I think. So, for example, Black Panther. Possédant l'un des esprits les plus brillants au monde, la princesse Shuri reprend le rôle de Black Panther pour protéger sa nation, le Wakanda. You know what I mean?
They also have the English translation of that on there as well.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I'd love to know from any native French speakers
How bad that was.
how Hugh did then. Yes.
3 stars.
Pauline says that the
3 étoiles.
magic shot that I got was the confetti one, and she'll put one on the Facebook group after the show. Those of you on Facebook, it's my profile picture as well, actually.
Oh yes.
Hugh, we're getting towards the end of September. No, we're getting towards the end of the 30th. Sorry, we're gonna have to change this background soon, aren't we?
Yes,
Lose
true.
My ears.
Yeah.
Right. Annual pass adds perks. Okay.
Yay.
Don't get excited, people. Don't get excited. They've got 2 limit. Oh no, not 2 actually. They've got like 8.
I should have held this photo pass
Do you want to put that on the screen thing?
up that was in my wallet while we were talking about photo pass.
There it is.
That's what the listeners. I'm sorry. This is what the card pass looks like.
Temporary card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can then upgrade.
Cool.
The annual pass has now got limited edition pins at the Storybook store.
They look cool.
They are very, very nice. And this, I have a bit of a thing to say about this. Oh, just before I do, the sales opened this week for the new annual passes in the park for everybody. And they also put a teaser trailer up for the pop-up surprise meet and greet. Like they had somebody sewing a costume, I think, ready for the pop-up surprise so that people can start guessing who it is. But these things that they've released this week ahead of it going on sale is almost as if they want people to buy it.
Yeah.
Now that may seem like a daft thing to say, but like this is the kind of thing that would absolutely get me, is these limited edition pins. But they have taken away any meaningful perks away and then added quite meaningless perks, and then are pushing those meaningless perks with double the price, hoping it'll work. Go on,
Can I have
Chris.
an unpopular opinion?
Go on.
And I'm going to alienate lots of people, I think, by saying this, but if these annual passes, as they used to be, never existed, and this was the first time they'd introduced an annual pass, people would think they were a good value and you were getting something worthwhile, and the perks that are there are decent perks. The issue is, fundamentally, that Disney offered too much with an annual pass in the past.
Yeah.
Because I started looking at like the cost and value of annual passes, and if you can go 300 days like the old, whatever the one that you used to have was, you can go 300 days in a year, and if you did go every single day, that one annual pass effectively has a value of something like £130,000 or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're spending 300 quid on it, and now though there isn't the same pass, but the gold pass, which gives you 365 days a year, is giving you more like £180,000 worth of value for money on the ticket price, and on the 20 quid or whatever, if there were 4 of you going to eat, discount you might get from a meal. It's still good value for money for what it is. It's just you can't go and get discounted tickets for all your friends to go, or your family to go. So those people who used to have one annual pass for a family and see massive discounts in that, it's not beneficial to them. I get that, but I also get why Disney don't want to do that anymore.
Or store your bags for free to make it easier for you to go into the parks.
But then
or give you push chairs to take your kids around the parks.
But have a look at any annual pass pretty much anywhere. They don't give those kind of perks. An annual pass is you can get in for free. That's what it is. So anything else that they're offering is a massive bonus. And I know it was good before, don't get me wrong. And I'm gutted because I would have definitely looked at getting one. I've said this before as well. But if I take away the anger and frustration of the change from what it was before to what it is now, it's still value for money if you're going to use it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, it was always a steal. This is why we used to come on this show and say, anybody who's planning 2 trips, you must get an annual pass.
Exactly,
and if you're going for more than 5 days, think about getting an annual pass, because it was always good value for money. The thing is, these, they've never done limited edition pins before, and they've never done these exclusive meet and greets before, and I had this distinct feeling like they did not want people to buy annual passes. So now clearly they do want you to buy annual passes, because they're actually actively doing things that are trying to. So I feel like I'm getting mixed signals.
Yeah, I think they do want people to buy them. They've just changed the offering. They've changed what it is, and they're hoping that people will still come and get them. And for a lot of people who've had annual passes before, particularly people who live in or around Paris, it still makes sense. Yes, you're paying an extra €200 a year to what you were paying before, but an extra 200 years is 2 extra days in the park, basically.
Yeah, true.
And if you're going to go 6-8 times, you're still saving money. So
true.
I don't know. I hold my hands up and say, I'm not saying, oh, well done Disney, what a fantastic thing you've done here. What I actually think is, you flipping idiots, why were you offering so much in the first place? Why on earth were you basically handing the entire offering on a plate in the way that they were doing?
There's a lot of opinions on this
never
in the
sustainable.
chat. Magical by Sarah says, my friend was there the other day as an annual pass holder. She was on the waiting list for the 4th day, so the availability hasn't improved. they made us understand it hard, didn't they? Because they were they were taking the availability from the entire park, so that's a little worrying. George said it'd even be nice to get a welcome pack with an annual pass, like a t-shirt, bag cap or whatever. Just like they gave me a little more that's not available to anyone else, give me a little something back. Yeah, I agree, maybe for the price that they're paying, but of course these like pins and stuff, they're just more things.
They're doing AP
buy.
events, aren't they?
They are doing AP
4
events.
a year or something. So.
Are they free?
That was the implication, but I don't know. I can't say for certain.
I don't know that for certain if they are. They offered a lot of benefits because they needed the extra business. If attendance numbers go down again, they can always add more perks.
Exactly
That's
right. Yeah, exactly
it's easier
right.
to go that way.
And do them short term if they want to as well. You know, they can introduce it for a short amount of time and take it away again.
Between September and November, annual pass holders can get these discounted tickets, but just not in summer. Kira, they offered a lot of... Okay. Prefer not to have these pins and meet and greets and be able to enter more than 3 days in a row. That's a really tough one for the price you're paying, not to be able to go for more than 3 days.
That's down to locality as well, don't you think? Again, it's about really this, as much as you can get them in the UK, you can get them in other parts of Europe. If you're an annual pass holder at the Yorkshire Wildlife Place, for instance, you're not going to go there for 3 days in a row and book to go 3 days in a row. I know it's not the same, I know it's not, but you go when you want to go. So you go, right, I'm going to go in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to go 3 days after that, and blah, blah, blah. And it tends to be 1 day trips. So if you as an annual pass holder are booking a holiday, that's a different thing. And I think that's the thing behind it.
We did say that those are the people they wanted to discourage, didn't we?
I think that's entirely it. Yeah, I think that's entirely it.
Emma said, have to say the pins and the meet and greets do make it tempting. I'm a sucker for anything exclusive.
Even if you have to pay for them.
Me too. Just put the pins on general sale so I can get my hands on them. Well, yeah, exactly. They're in the Storybook store. I'm not sure if normal people can go in there. Yeah.
Normal people.
News.
Oh, sorry, a lot of people have got things to say then.
I know. I'm just, like I'm timekeeper.
Okay.
You haven't even started talking about your trip yet.
Exactly.
Right, and then the last piece of news was card games. The Lorcana trading cards decks. These are like packs of 60 trading cards.
Disney Mom.
That are different in every pack, and then you can play a competitive game with them, and you can get booster packs and presentation things. They went on sale the day that we came home, so we couldn't check them out for you, in the 18th at the Storybook store, to annual pass holders, and then on general sale from the World of Disney on the 20th. So I've already seen Aaron saying that they'd definitely start correcting those.
We should start a club. we should all start trading them and swapping.
I don't really understand this as a thing, these trading card decks. But what are they?
It's a card game, but the different cards that you have basically influence the way your deck works within that game. So you get better cards, you have a stronger deck.
Fiona says, I'm trying to stay away from Lorcana. I've already got collections of Lego, Pokemon cards and Warhammer mins. My bank balance won't take anymore.
Yeah. And they are quite expensive, I think, as well. I can't remember, I did look it up, it was something like $30 for the 60 or something. Right, Hugh, I'm done with the news.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Andrew Palmer asked about that. Will Lorcana ever be worth buying, he said. And then put some pictures up on the Facebook page. It's an interesting question. I guess time will tell. Should I go through these quickly before you start talking and then it's done? For the Facebook stuff, or do you want to leave that till the end?
What is it?
Just comments and questions and stuff from Facebook. There's not a lot of questions. There's not going to take much amount of time, I don't think. It's just things like Jenny said that they're counting down to a surprise Christmas trip and would appreciate any Christmas-themed Disney reveal ideas. Cheryl's added a load in there, so we won't talk about those now. But if any of you've got any ideas for Jenny, bang them into that conversation and help her out. Whitney says she's grumpy, that she had to cancel a one-night solo trip to see Dream and Shine Brighter one last time because I'm an adult who just bought a house and has to make adult decisions. Sarah Clipston, she says, I'm grumpy because the 30th Purple Loungefly went on 40% discount literally 2 weeks after coming home. Now I'm trying to get a personal shopper to get one for my sis and I. What are the chances that they're sold out? No. She also says she's grumpy about the annual pass holders that can only book 3 days in the park as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't someone saying you couldn't get them in the parks either anyway?
Yeah, I think they did say that, yeah. Yes. But Sarah says she's happy because they've booked for their Christmas trip already at Camp Davy. We take ferry lights to make the cabin snug, and when we come back in the evenings, we still get a discount with our annual passes, but it was cheaper to book via hotels.com and use £90 of Tesco vouchers.
We stayed there at Christmas. It was Christmassy.
Yeah.
Where did we say?
David Crockett.
Yes.
Pete Elkinson says, love the show. Any latest on when the new lands will be finished and opening the studios, and is there going to be a Star Wars area? Probably not to the second part of that, and I don't know, 25, 26 for Frozen Land?
Yeah.
I think we'll find out sometime next year.
They've quietly just stopped talking about Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see.
Now
we speculate a lot, don't we, on here?
Well, now they're referring to it as a third land. We're going to have Marvel and Frozen and a third land, and so we're like, why aren't you calling it Star Wars?
We've already suggested some cheap options.
Yep.
Mos Eisley or
Endor.
Just a walkthrough, or Endor, like
See, the only
treehouse.
The only believable rumour we've
Walkthrough.
heard, we don't want to spend too long on this, but the only believable rumour we've heard is Pride Lands, and we've all agreed we don't like that idea.
Yeah, I don't like that idea. Amelie Boo, just to say, I'm new to the podcast, so hello. I was talking to my girlfriend earlier about how, when I passed my GCSEs, I remember running into the garden to tell my parents that they had released the news of the Hollywood Studios expansion, and now I'm living in London with a full-time job and a Disney trip booked for January. Time flies.
Now, listeners won't have seen this, but if anyone just watched me drink that, these sipper cups, they don't empty in a predictable way, and a load of pineapple and grapefruit trickled down the right-hand side of my face, and I thought, well, that's annoying. And I went back to finish it off, and then it went down the left-hand side of my face. So that's why my jumper's all wet on both sides, and I look like a mess.
Oh my.
Did anyone see that on camera? Ah. So I'll have my book.
Oh, you. 2 more and I'm done. Rachel Barker says, very excited for my first Halloween visit to DLP in 45 days. Very much hoping there's still some discounted 30th merch by the time we go. We shall see. And then Jenny just popped back in again to say, does anyone have any idea if the Avengers drone show's coming back? I'd love it to be there when if there was one on over Christmas. Dunno.
It is coming back, and they've given dates for it to come back, and I don't have them at my fingertips. It's something like the middle of September.
There were specific dates though, weren't there?
There were. I don't think it goes to Christmas.
Yes, to November or something.
Yeah,
So.
I know it was because we really wanted it to be on when we were there, and I know that it comes back in a couple of weeks, so I'm thinking like beginning, middle of September, because we were going to miss it. But I don't think it'll go to Christmas, sorry. Because they'll bring Christmas things if you're lucky. If you're lucky, they'll have that Goofy show on Tower of Terror, and that is also very good.
Right, now what I reckon is if everyone smashes that like button, you might tell us about your recent holiday.
Yeah. We can wait.
Do you want me to do a little mini haul video?
Let's see if we've got time afterwards.
Okay.
Go on, right.
Yeah, so, now, as you know, we are cursed. And every time we try to travel, the last 4 or 5 times, something terrible's happened. There was an accident on the junction right near 237 Disney Street, and we were at a dead standstill on the motorway, to the point where they had to turn all the cars round, and we had to drive the wrong way up the motorway. It's a terrible accident. I do hope everyone's all right. But it meant that 2.5 hours after we'd set off, we were just passing the junction near
You
us.
literally must have just got on the motorway, straight on the motorway, because it was Denbydale Road Junction, wasn't it?
We went down the slip road and we're like, oh no, traffic jam, and we drove into a traffic jam. But it must have just only happened like 60 seconds before.
So yeah, lucky escape really for us. Anyway, so but that was the only real issue. We went to London for a couple of days, missed half an hour of a show, but it turned out it didn't really matter. It was Choir of Man, which is a choir show, and it didn't really matter that we'd missed 20 minutes because it's musical numbers.
No story.
Didn't like those songs anyway.
No story. Yeah, so we did that. Hung about in London, and then we stayed at Travel Inn and flew from Heathrow to Charles de Gaulle, and then we stayed overnight at, what was the hotel called?
Mercure.
At Mercure. I did find the taxi drivers on the way to that hotel and from there back to the airport the next day didn't know where they were going, which I thought was strange.
It was also like on the map, as the crow flies, it is very, very close to the terminal. This is in case any of you want a hotel.
We could see
At
it
the
as
airport.
we were taxiing
went-
after we'd landed. We were going, anywhere here's fine, mate.
Oh, look, there's our hotel. We taxied right past it 'cause it's right near the runway. So we thought it would, and I'm sure that on the website it said something like a 3-minute drive. However, because of the way that the road system and the circular system works, it seemed to take us about 10 to 12 minutes to get there, which is quite a lot of money in an Uber. How much was it in the Uber?
Can't remember, 20 or something, 17. Something, I think it's about 17.
17 euros. So that's quite a lot to add on to the price for a hotel. I don't think we had a choice. I think all the hotels were in that area. It was a very nice hotel, I will say. For a one night only thing, and I believe it was less than 100 euros. It was as cheap as I could find. Very clean, lovely big king bed, lovely big room, nice lobby.
So what was weird, because we were travelling with our friends, the Brooks, and the 5-year-old son and the 10-month-old son. So what's weird was going back to meet them at arrivals with our luggage. So we had to sort of explain to the taxi driver, we are going to the right place, we're just meeting some friends, because it was not normal to take someone with luggage to the arrivals.
Yeah. I think he wanted
thing.
to take us to Paris.
Was it this one?
Yes.
Yes.
I stayed there.
Yeah.
The one time I flew to Charles de Gaulle, it was when I went to DLP, when I went with work to do work stuff, but I went to DLP and went to the village for tea one night. That's the hotel I stayed at.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so we decided to share a taxi, which cost us 45 each.
Yeah, it cost us 90 to
Yeah.
get there when we
Per
went.
family, I mean. So it was 90 altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Private taxi. Yeah, we got there pretty sharpish, didn't we?
Just while we're on about the transfers, I know this goes on to a different day, but I get terribly travel sick in taxis and cars and minibuses and anything like that. So because there's so many of us, we got a minibus there and I took travel sickness tablets. But on the way back, I thought I'd fork out for the posh train, not the RER. What's
Ooh.
that? Is it the TGV?
TGV.
TGV. And I priced it up at being about 65 euros for 3 of us, which is why we didn't take it both ways. And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. But given it would nearly cost us that much in a taxi anyway, it's going to do this, let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went to buy it on the train line, it was only 45 euros. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because the train line is cheaper or because it was special offer or I don't know.
Just lucky, I guess.
I don't know. So I'm going to try and buy it through the train line next time, because if it was that amount both ways, I think we would choose to do that, because it's very easy, it's very quick.
We'll probably talk about that again in 3 weeks.
Yes.
On the actual day that it happened. So we
Come on, Lucy.
So we went straight to Sequoia Lodge.
Oh, yeah.
Queued to put our bags in baggage storage. A lady accused Lucy of pushing in, which she didn't. Lucy was already queuing, a woman went behind her, and then I joined Lucy. So I think the woman became confused. But it was the point where you think, is it worth mentioning? Roll your eyes, shrug, tut, whatever. But don't go, excuse me, I was here before you.
She'd also not been queuing in a very disciplined way. She'd been wandering vaguely around the queuing area, hadn't she?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She wasn't like
so our first, as soon as we arrived there, someone and she kind of threw her arms up and she was a bit annoyed at us, but we kind of said, no, I don't think so. And then I said to Lucy, no, I saw her walk up behind you, and I think I heard her go, no, I didn't. Or something. I don't know where she was from. Anyway, yeah. So we didn't check in until later, did we? Though. So did we? We just went into the village then to eat.
Oh no, we did check in because we needed to get our magic passes.
Oh, but we
which
didn't
are
get
keys. But
we didn't get a room.
We got a text message with our room number on.
Yeah.
After 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Guess where we ate in the village, Chris? We went planned. We just wandered in and we're like, should we go there? Let's go here.
Guess where you at? So you wandered in from Sequoia Lodge.
Yeah.
And you went, shall we go there?
We were going to go to the
Royal
Grange.
Pub.
But
No, not
we were
the
going
Royal
to go
Pub.
to the Grange.
Papianos.
We were going to go to the Grange, but it doesn't open till 5 p.m. and we wanted lunch. So
Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's obvious. First one.
Yeah, and you know, with the kids, it appealed to them, and it was fine, wasn't it?
Quite scary when the earthquakey, thundery noise came off.
Yeah. In fact, we just remembered that happened, and we told them, and about 5 seconds later, it started, didn't it?
I've only eaten there twice, and I really liked the food both times.
She had rasta pasta.
I had rasta pasta. I might have had that both times actually, but I really, really enjoyed it.
We were ordering drinks, and Brookie said, "I'll have a virgin colada," and we both went, "Ooh, 3, please."
And then we just we didn't even discuss it with each other. We just went 3 virgin coladas. I think I said it on your behalf. I just knew from your body language that you wanted it.
Yeah. So we ate there. We met Kerry in the village. Totally Disneyed out. They were leaving. We were arriving.
Yeah.
And the first thing we did.
She had the sheen of Disney on her.
First thing we did. The film we have. The first thing we did when we got to the park is we went up Main Street, and then we sort of just found ourselves outside Star Tours, and we went in Star Tours. Lucy didn't because she gets motion sick, and so she took the baby.
To Small World.
I took the baby. Where did I take the baby?
Just shopping.
Just shopping.
You didn't go on your Spirit ride
No.
that you missed last year.
No, the baby was sleeping and covered, so I couldn't get the baby out of the pushchair. So I basically had to just walk around with the baby.
Okay. Baby.
Well, Bonnie and I went on it in Hollywood Studios in Florida, and we had Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet, which Bonnie calls Wookiee Island, and it's her favourite one. And she was saying, "I hope it's Wookiee Island," and I was saying, "I don't think we have that here. I think that's just in America." We had it.
I had that last time.
We had. Yeah, I didn't realise. So because I normally get the same ones in Paris, but we had Vader, and we had Kashyyyk, and we had the asteroid field with mine and Brookie's favourite Star Wars score, which is the asteroid field music. So we were both chuffed with that.
Cool.
Yeah, and then
Good start.
Oh, do you remember we talked a while ago about those slushes, the Pom or the Fraise slushes?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't find a slushie. The usual slushie machine under the bridge near Casey and the Storybook Ride is gone. And I was complaining, and Lucy said, "Have you tried there?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And I went there, and I asked. I spoke more French on this trip, and I said, "Is it possible to get these?"
Avez-vous un slushy?
I said, "Can I get this les deux?" And she went, "Mixed, yes." So I had it mixed, and we still can't get to the bottom of what the €6 per drink is, or the €6 for a refill is. I don't know what you get extra, because that's just the same as just saying, well, there's just £6 a drink then, isn't it?
Just bring your paper cup, because it's only a paper cup.
Yeah.
Unless they just want you to bring your paper cup back for a refill.
Is it not because you can get the sippers type things?
There's like a kind of, you know, those...
the commemorative 30th ones.
They look like a glass drink can.
Oh, right, okay.
I think they're supposed to serve them in those, but I don't get what you... I don't know.
That smells so bad.
I always assumed it was the 30th sippy cup thing that you can get at some of the places, that you got a refill of that and it costs the same, but it's bigger, so you get slightly more.
Kerry is saying apparently they will refill your personal cups.
Oh.
I know a lot of people carry around
For the same price.
Starbucks things.
For the same price. But then that means you might get slightly more or slightly less, depending on the size of your cup.
I don't get it. I was trying to work out the entire trip.
You should have gone with various different vestibules and seen how you got on.
Yeah. Did we get on Small World then? Because we saw Gemma
Yes.
outside. Then we went on Small World, and someone charged us with the task of finding 5 differences on Small World. And there's some obvious ones, like there's some characters in wheelchairs, which is cool. But then it made us kind of doubt everything, and there's a picture in Spain of a bull that says Toro, but it's behind you, and we were going, is that always there? And we were just going, is that there? And there was things high up that we were sure weren't there before.
There's a few animals that I think are new. There's some cats next to the Chinese dancers.
I'm sure the cats are new.
That I don't recognise, but also you really do start to overthink. I will just say it is looking fantastic. It's looking so fresh and vibrant and colourful. It's just looking absolutely beautiful, and every single doll was working as well. That I could tell, which hasn't happened in a long time.
Are the roof tiles still there?
Of course they are.
Excellent. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, this stage now it'd be a shame to get rid of them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
Permanent fixture.
I think we could spot 5 differences, but you'll have to wait for the
Yeah,
vlog.
on my video I'm going new, and then I'm going, is that new? So while we were around there, we also did Storybook Ride and Casey Jr.
Yes.
Which are nice rides for the baby to go on. 10-month-old. You seem to be enjoying it. So someone's hat came off on Casey. A little girl's hat came off, and I immediately felt bad for her. And I was wondering, could I have reached out and grabbed it? Because it went past us, but not quite. But she didn't look too bothered, so I felt.
Where did it go? Did it land in the story?
It went under the tracks, and when we looked behind you could see it laying on the tracks.
Was it on the tracks?
Well, not on the tracks, but kind of on the tracks.
I didn't feel as bad for her because she didn't seem bothered. It was probably just a cap that her parents were making her wear.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a treasured thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember from that, is someone's hat coming off. And do you know what, actually? We went back after that.
Yeah.
You not get on Pirates on day one?
No.
Can I ask you a question about Pirates that might go into another day?
Yeah.
Were there any balloons? Did you notice any balloons in Pirates 3?
There were no balloons. The Mickey balloon is gone.
But because someone put a picture up of the castle and there were balloons in the castle.
Oh.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there was a Mickey balloon for at least 2 trips that was just up in the palm trees in the queuing area. That was just like up on the ceiling, like, until they either took it down or it
Eventually
ran out of helium. But what we decided to do was go back to the Sequoia Lodge Redwood Lounge and Bar, or Bar and Lounge.
It's nice.
We love it.
It's lovely there, isn't it?
We got a little sofa area next to the fire. Fire wasn't on blissfully because it was 28 degrees outside.
And what did you say? This is exactly where I want to be.
Exactly where I want to be.
She was on the floor though when she said that.
By this point, we'd had
On the floor.
2 full days in London where you walk a lot at speed and it's very, very busy. And then we'd had not a full day, but half a day in Disneyland Paris where there's a lot of people. It's very busy and your feet are aching. And by the time I got into that bar on that comfortable sofa, or leaning on the floor against a comfortable sofa, I was just so glad for it to be quiet, fairly dark, quiet, cool. It was lovely. But we had for tea, we had the sharing meat and cheese board.
Oh, okay.
And bread.
It was like €24, I think. You got 2 drinks with it.
Oh yeah, and I had a glass of wine, Chris.
Ooh,
I
you
like wine.
Yeah.
And Hugh had a beer. So I think €24 if you include 2 portions of alcohol isn't too bad.
Was it a good amount of food?
I had a good amount of food feeding out of it between the cheese and the bread and the meats, but you didn't really. I don't think you like the meats.
When it arrived, I was like, I'm not really a fan of that kind of
prosciutto
thinly
and
sliced.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of meat. I just want a piece of ham, please. But I had a bit of cheese and some crackers or whatever. Some bread. I had some bread. So it actually wasn't a great deal for me. But it's nice to be
good
in
deal
there.
for me.
Me and Laura like that.
But here's the thing.
Oh.
Bonnie didn't eat anything, and it was getting late, and I was like, right, I'm gonna go get some McDonald's. I went to the McDonald's in the village.
Oh.
It was awful.
Was it?
There's loads of screens there, and no one was finishing.
Self-service screens.
Yeah, no one was
Right.
finishing ordering. And when I looked around, it was like they were all pretending to use them, like they were extras. And when I looked around, everyone was just kind of waving their arms. The girl
Like Truman Show.
There was a girl in front of me. Yeah, it was like Truman Show. The girl in front of me, I looked away. When I looked back, she'd somehow added 10 burgers, and she was slowly trying to remove them, minusing them at a time. I was just thinking, oh my God. And so eventually I got to one, and I tell you what, I was by far and away the fastest person in that entire building on any of those machines. I was just like, I want that. Here's my ticket, let's go. Then they won't let me wait there. They put us on into this like pen, and I had to wait for about 20 minutes while they just slowly called out the numbers. They were on about 59 and mine was 81. Quatre van Aeon, which luckily I knew because they were only calling them out in French. And as I came out, I did a video and I just said, don't go in there.
Looking forward to seeing that.
Okay. I mean, I always say the fact that there's a McDonald's there is an option for families with picky eaters. You know what you're getting. The prices are the same as they are elsewhere, so it's okay. But Hugh's advice is...
Don't do it. Honestly, you're better than that.
Do you know what?
Go to the Royal Pub instead.
There was one point when it might have been the day that I got really sick. a few years ago when I went to Earl of Sandwich and you and Bonnie went back to the hotel, and I remember having quite a similar experience. It wasn't self-service, but it was after you've ordered, all very good, go and stand over there please. And then when you're there so long you think they've forgotten you exist, and you're just staring at you've counted all the panels on the wall and you're thinking, how am I still here?
They got up to order 80, catch a van, and then they went to 82 and then carried on going up, and then they went back to like 76, which made me think, oh, they haven't skipped me. Lucy, tell us about the room then at Sequoia Lodge.
Okay, well, it's we've stayed in it before. It is nice. It is Bambi themed. I like the woodsy feel. It is undoubtedly dated.
I would say in a bad way, not in a cozy, nice way. In a like, what is that wallpaper?
You know, when it like maybe a slightly older relative that hasn't bothered decorating the house in a couple of decades.
Like my parents' living room.
Yeah.
They've still got wallpaper. Sorry if this is you, anyone listening. With a border. A separate border wallpaper.
That's very
on.
90s.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Very 90s. So yeah, it's quite dated. I like it. It's got comfortable big beds. It's good, but there's that situation where we were.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do this on the camera, but if you're listening, you're gonna have to imagine that the hotel is the shape of like a crab with right-angled arms. Okay, so you've got the big body in the middle, and then you've got two arms that come round, and the pincers are pointing in. Okay, so our room, we walked along here, which is a very long corridor.
Yes, it is.
And then we walked along there,
Turn
which
right.
is a very long corridor.
Turn right.
And then our room
90
was
degrees.
here. Okay, and there is a way of getting directly out. There's a staircase then out, and you're in the greenery, and it's lovely, beautiful, but you can't get back in that way.
It's like a fire door.
For security reasons. So every time we wanted to go to the room, we had to come in here and then walk
We had to take two right angle turns to get there, and it took ages.
It was a significant, I would say it was just under 5 minutes of walking a corridor every time you wanted to go, which is a long time to be walking a corridor.
And how, out of interest, when you booked, how did the cost compare to the ones that are in the main building? Because
it was in the main building, but you mean
but
like
the Riverside ones, or whatever they call them, the Riverview ones?
I cannot recall. I just booked what was there. We weren't in the lodges, which is good. But we did have a lakeside view. We were then, because from here, the lake is here.
Okay, yeah.
And so we were actually looking out to the lake. It was lovely. But we were only on floor 2, so you couldn't see above the trees. So we were basically looking at tree trunks with a bit of water behind it, which was really nice. And I still, dated rooms or not dated rooms, I would still choose that hotel over other hotels. The lobby is gorgeous.
It's idyllic, isn't it?
It is. It's cosy. We actually went to visit the Newport Bay to remind ourselves. And to me, that feels a bit impersonal and vast, whereas this feels really nice. Yeah.
We'll talk more about Newport Bay Club, but I will say, Chris, we went there to get you this coin.
Oh.
This coin. Put it on the camera here. And I wasn't sure how to find it at first, but they had a box of them behind a counter.
Oh, look at that.
So that's
happy
awesome.
birthday.
Thank you very much.
Now, the thing is, Chris, we wanted to get you like a couple of things, but I couldn't find anything else that we wanted, like that was nice. In fact, there was one thing I saw, but I'm getting it for Christmas because it was too expensive. But we did get you some Disney pasta.
I don't think that needs to go under the camera, does it?
I don't know. Is that Scrooge McDuck there?
It is actually, isn't it? I didn't realise Scrooge was in there. Yeah, Disney pasta. Bonnie loves this kind of pasta. We have it with tomato soup.
Oh, yeah, there's one. Oh, thank you very much.
Brookie did experience. I was saying that some people have had issues with the wiring in the Sequoia Lodge rooms, and he nodded at me, and he I think he unplugged the lamp, or whatever the issue is, with like
everyone does.
Plugs not working because you've unplugged the lamp because he needed to.
He connected his plug to the lighting. System instead of the electric system. They don't have the charging stations.
They did have the. I don't think Brookie necessarily knew how vital it was that he used that instead of that, and maybe something else was plugged into that. We were really glad of that. I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's a big old device on what is a wooden sideboard, you know.
And it's weird because it's got that angled top, which I still don't understand. It looks like it's leaning.
But that had a patch on it to be a contactless, a wireless charging port, 'cause it had that symbol.
Yeah, but wouldn't
on
it slide
but
off?
It's at that angle. Now we didn't try it. I do have contactless charging, but this interferes with it. My pop socket, so I don't do it. But yeah, it's that was a godsend if you know to use it. So we had to tell them the following day, oh, you've got to use that. They also had some quite new looking coffee machines in there. Now we don't drink coffee, so we wouldn't have remembered this anyway. So I don't know if anyone could tell me, are they brand new? Because I don't remember them having those other than a kettle last time we were there.
They had an espresso machines when I was there.
Okay, maybe not that new then. It looked quite shiny and fresh.
Was it one of those with like a lever at the front and you lift it up?
Don't know.
Drop a pod in. Yeah, I think it's unless they've changed suppliers, which they might have done because they've obviously got agreements with Lavazza now, haven't they? I work for Nespresso, so this is why this is like
interesting.
So that was day 1.
So we'll do day 2 next week. Can I do my quick haul video even though it's 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Because I was very restrained this time. A, because of lack of money, and B, because
I didn't get anything.
there was quite a lot I wanted. There always is, but there's nothing I needed. I also said I don't need any more Spirit jerseys. I said that before because I am just addicted to them and I love them and I have them all the time. However, all the 30th anniversary merch was at 40% off, all of it, which means that this Spirit jersey was 40% off.
30.
So look at that.
It's got, listeners, it's purple tie-dye white stripe down it with like a big 30 on it, and obviously Disneyland Paris on the back in blue.
Now I didn't buy myself
beautifully
this.
modelled there, Lucy.
My lovely husband bought me it as a graduation present.
Aww.
Thank you, Huey. And then I got
Well, it's 40% off, so you know.
2 pins and a pen. So I always need to get the year pin. There we go.
It's Chippendale in front of the castle, rendered in brown, orange and yellow and cream. It's
I'm
very
liking that colour scheme.
got a limited palette, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Now the thing is that everything about this is very similar to the 2023 Disney World ones, except the colour scheme. They've got a very bright colour scheme, and these guys have got this muted orange and yellow.
It's mustardy.
So I had to get one with the castle on because I got a pin for 2023 when we went to Disney World earlier in the year. It was so similar to this that I had to get one with the castle on to know which was Paris and which was Disney World because they were so similar. But there are plenty of others that have just got character faces on. And then I don't usually get the big collector's pins because I display them all on a lamp and I just like the small ones. But I also do get anything Small World. So I got this collector's pin for Small World.
That's ace. It's like 2, is it?
It's 2 pins that separate. It's also we'd been to London as well this holiday, so I thought, oh well, I'll remember that was the holiday that we started in London. And Chippendale are my favourites for pins.
Oh.
And it's just lovely, isn't it?
By the way, the other show we saw was Groundhog Day, and it was brilliant.
Oh.
Maybe we'll talk about that in the Patreon after show.
Ooh.
And then the last thing I got, I don't know how everyone has learning styles, don't they? I have to write my notes and things in colours. I have to, and so I have these pens. I'll show you the top that have got the 4 colours on because I change colour mid-sentence so that words stand out. Some people hate that, but I like it. So when I saw this with Disneyland Paris on it, let's turn it that way. I just had to get me it.
What is it? It's a multicolour
Flicking pen.
It's got pink, blue, green and purple.
It's not in shop.
Sorry, pink, blue, green and purple. Well, I was describing it for the listeners really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I never forget our listeners, even though you two do.
With his on Paris on. So that was just a cheap extra, something that I kind of needed. So quite a small haul all round. What did Bonnie get? Oh, she got herself a keyring.
Oh,
Didn't
nice.
she?
Oh yeah, because she collects those.
The chunky ones.
Yeah,
chunky
the character ones.
They kind of have a matte finish.
Yeah.
They really sort of.
Big head.
They look tactile.
Lucas has loads of those.
And she couldn't find any in Florida. They've stopped doing them there, so she was like, "Oh, they do them here."
So it took her 3 days to choose,
She
and
got
she
Spider-Bot.
ended up with BB-8.
She's already got a spider bot.
Has she?
Yeah, she got BB-8.
BB-8, nice.
But then it was that between that and Grumpy and Belle. But then she discounted Belle, so we got a Grumpy as a present.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's everything.
Very nice.
Yay!
I can't wait to hear more about your trip. And thank you very much for the coin and the pasta.
It's all right. I'm thinking actually, is it possible? Probably should chat about this after. Is it possible to I'll be able to download these videos and then maybe clip the 4 days together so that
You could do that, yeah.
at the end of this you can just have a trip report package.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could probably do that.
it'd be nice to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Another thing that Hugh needs to edit is we got a sound effect, not a sound effect, a
Yes.
sound file that we are going to use for the next Can You Guess for the vault.
I've got 2 options, possibly 3. We wanted to do a competition to replace the Guess the Amount of Zum-Zums one, which was like, would take a while.
This is on our Patreon prize vault.
Yeah. So I recorded a very specific sound effect that you have to guess where it is, exactly where it is. Or if that doesn't, I need to listen to it to see how it sounds. But or I recorded some footage of me stood somewhere in the parks, and you have to guess where I am. So they'd have to pinpoint it on the map, and then would create like a sort of circle around the selection and see if it touches my circle.
So a sound file.
So you have to
guess
listen
this.
to the clues in the audio.
Cool, I like it.
And we've got more prizes. This is the other thing we bought, because I thought we definitely bought more than that. We bought you guys some prizes. So if you want to join our Patreon, it's very low price of just £3 a month at the moment. We're looking at adding some more tiers and getting some more content up. That's something we need to have a chat about. But
we need a meeting, don't we?
We do need a meeting, and we're always, whenever we talk, we're talking in front of you guys. We need private time.
I don't even know about their holiday apart from now. I'm literally learning this holiday, this trip report over the next 3-4 weeks whilst they reveal it all. And next week, for instance, when it's Bonnie's birthday and I'm over here, we can't talk about this. We don't talk about it because it'd spoil it all, wouldn't it?
We'll tell you bits. We'll tell you little bits.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a Patreon after show now. We're going to do a little 20-minute show after this. So if you are already a Patreon pal, Disney Street pal, you should have a link to that. And if you want to suddenly be a member now, would they be able to join today if they became
just
members
go
today?
follow the link.
Brilliant. Right.
And then next week you can find out all about our 15-hour day in the parks.
Oh, yes.
Which I don't think we've ever done
We
before.
closed it down. It was amazing.
We went from opening to finishing.
We went from early magic hours to fireworks.
Wow.
I know. So before you leave us, just click that like button, yeah? Just click that like button.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Smell you later.
Bye.